Good morning!
Morning guys, it's great to have you back at SBC GenZ, and we have Gordon with us today from Challenge Gordon, and he's here in the flesh for a challenge later too. Okay, well let's have a feel, see which one of us is tallest or shortest.
Okay.
Bit of a theme today.
Right.
Who do you think? Who is the shortest?
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm the shortest, aren't I? You are the tallest. Well done, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Right, well that one's settled. We're now going to have a bit of a game, but this time we're going to have a competition to see which one of us has got the shortest landmark, not the tallest. So you've got to guess which of ours is the shortest landmark. You're going to see them on the screen in a moment. And we'll see who wins out of Gordon and I, and we'll see how you get on at home as well. Okay.
All right.
So, what have you got first?
Sydney Opera House.
Okay, and I've got the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So, which is the shortest of the two? Okay, how tall or short is yours?
65 metres.
But mine's only 55.8 metres.
Oh, you're only stubby one.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa is shorter.
Yeah,
Sydney Opera
yeah.
House, so I win 1 point. Okay, next I've got Big Ben.
And I've got the Statue of Liberty.
Ooh, which is the shortest, Big Ben or the Statue of Liberty? I've got Big Ben at 96 metres.
You! 93 metres.
The Statue of Liberty is actually shorter.
Yeah.
1 each. Okay, how are you doing at home? Hope you're catching up with us. Okay, the third one.
Right, the London Eye.
Ah, and I've got the Great Pyramid of Giza. Which is the shortest? The Great Pyramid or the London Eye?
Amazing 135 metres.
That is pretty tall, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty tall.
But the Great Pyramid of Giza is 138.8 metres.
Wow!
So you win.
So
the
the London
shortest.
Eye's shorter.
It is, but not by a lot actually.
No,
By
no.
just under 4 metres shorter.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know the London Eye was that big. Okay, so far you've got 2 and I've got 1. Is that right?
Yeah, all right, I'll trust you.
You'll keep score for us at home anyway. Okay, let's go for the next one. I've got the Colosseum in Rome.
Okay, and I've got the Taj Mahal.
Oh, which is the shortest? Have a guess at home. Right, the Colosseum in Rome is 48 metres.
All right. Well, I'm 72 metres, so you win that one.
So I win this
You
one.
win, yeah.
So if my reckoning's right, I think we've got 2 each. So it
2
all
each.
hangs on the last
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your
Okay.
last one, Gordon?
Okay, well, I've got the Shard.
Ah, the Shard in London. That's the big glass one,
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
And I've got the Eiffel Tower. Both pretty tall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which one's the shortest of the two? Have a quick guess. Well, the Eiffel Tower is 300 metres.
309.7
Oh,
metres. So you
so
beat
I
me.
just beat you
beat
by
me,
one.
Yeah.
And I promise I'll let Gordon choose which pile he had, so it wasn't
Yeah.
my fault. Okay, how'd you get on at home? Hope you enjoyed that quiz. Anyway, now I don't know if you've worked out what our theme is today. I keep saying the shortest. Can you think of a theme where there's a story in the Bible about a real person that was particularly short and it was a bit of an issue for him? Can you think what it was? Yeah, it's Zacchaeus. And Zacchaeus in today's story, well, what was he known as? Well, he's known to us really as being the shortest person. That seems to be the thing we remember most about him from the story, but he was known for lots of other things. People called him the sinner. He's gone to a sinner's house, they said about Jesus. They also called him the chief tax collector, that was his job, or simply one of the Jews, he was as well. But Jesus knew him as Zacchaeus, and everything that meant, all about him, everything.
Yeah.
And he loved him, he accepted him, he wanted him exactly as he was, and that's what he's like with us. So we're now going to have a Bible passage which Gordon's going to read to us about Zacchaeus.
Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through. A man was there by the name of Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and was very wealthy. He wanted to see who Jesus was, but being a short man, he could not because of the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree to see him, since Jesus was coming that way. When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up and said to him, "Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today." So he came down once and welcomed him gladly. All the people saw this and began to mutter, "He has gone to be the guest of a sinner." But Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, "Look, Lord, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor, and if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay them back 4 times the amount." Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save what was lost."
Thank you, Gordon. Yeah. Zacchaeus, of course, was a Jew. Now, it would be very easy for people to think in those days that a Jew was saved just because they were a Jew. That's obviously not the case, because Jesus says salvation has come to this house today.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not about being a Jew, it's about making choices, isn't it? And what you do, what you believe and what choices you make to follow Jesus. And it's the same with us. Some people believe that, you know, if they've grown up in a Christian country, or they've been christened, or with water, or they live in a Christian family, or their parents are Christians, that makes them one. But the Bible doesn't say that, and that's not what Jesus said either. He said, if you've not got any of those things, but you follow me, then you can be saved. And if you have all of those things, but you don't choose to follow me, then you're not. You've got to make that choice for yourself. And the amazing thing is that he went to Zacchaeus exactly as he was. He wasn't waiting for him to stop being a sinner, to give all his money back. Jesus didn't demand any of those things. He just said, "I'm coming to see you."
Yeah.
And that's Jesus. Well, we're now going to have the puppet team bring the story of Zacchaeus to us. Thank you.
Hello, Lucy. Are you okay? You look a bit fed up today.
My friends are all busy today. Hannah's had to go shopping and Ruby's gone away for the weekend. And
Haven't you got any friends who aren't busy today?
no.
What about Katie or Mia up the road? Aren't they in your class at school?
Well, I'm not very tall and they're big and they don't want to play with me. They think I'm a baby.
Oh, that's not very nice. Never mind. Would you like me to tell you a story?
Oh, yes please, Gramps. I like your stories. Is it one about Jesus again?
Oh, how did you guess? Well, I thought I would tell you about the day Jesus made a special friend. He was quite small. Jesus doesn't mind if we're short or tall or whatever we look like. Whoever we are, in fact. This chap was called Zacchaeus, and he was a tax collector, so he didn't have any friends, except other tax collectors.
Why was that? Wasn't he a very nice person?
I don't know about that, but tax collectors worked for the Romans, and they made quite a lot of money by overcharging people for their tax. But one day, Jesus came to town. Will you let me through? I want to see Jesus.
So do we all, mate. We were here first. Get to the back.
But I can't see anything.
Well, that's too bad. Get out of the way. Yes, get off home. We don't want you around. And what would Jesus want with you anyway?
Oh, this is hopeless. I really want to see Jesus. I've heard so much about him. I wonder if I could climb that tree. Ow! Ooh, that twig stuck in me where it shouldn't. Ouch! Oh, can I make that higher branch? No, yes. I'm not as fit as I used to be. Climbing trees is not for me nowadays. Yes, done it. I should have a good view of Jesus from up here.
Look, it's Jesus. Here he comes. Move over. Let me see. get your elbow out of my ear. Well, get your boot off my toes then. Where's he going? He's talking to that tree. He must have been out in the sun too long.
Zacchaeus, are you up there? Yes, Lord, I'm here. Well, get down out of that tree. I'm coming home with you. Coming home with me? To my house? Of course. Do you have anything to drink? I'm really thirsty. Yes, yes. I'll just get off this branch and, I think I'm going to, Nothing broken, except the branch. Come on, show me the way. Do you have room for my disciples too?
Listen to that. Jesus is going to the home of a tax collector. But he's a sinner. Oh, yes. I've never known an honest tax collector yet.
Sir, I know I've not been totally honest in the past, but I'm going to give half my belongings to the poor and pay back 4 times over to anyone I've cheated. Well, that's wonderful, Zacchaeus.
Don't know what the world's coming to. Oh, Jesus going off with a tax collector. Oh dear, I'm going home. Oh.
So you see, Lucy, Zacchaeus had a new friend and he changed his life around because of it.
Yes, Jesus is pretty special, isn't he? Oh, there's someone at the door. I'll go, Gramps. Guess what? It's Katie and Mia. They want me to play with them.
That's great! It looks like you've got some new friends too, Lucy.
Yes, I feel like Zacchaeus now. See you later, Gramps.
Have a good time. See you later, Lucy.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so thank you, Puppet Team. That was amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely amazing. Brilliant. What really amazes me, though, is the fact that Zacchaeus was up that tree and Jesus was walking along, and then Jesus saw Zacchaeus in the tree and he says, "Come down, Zacchaeus." He didn't say, "Come down, bloke," or, "Hey, mister, come down here." He said, "Zacchaeus." So he already knew this. He already knew Zacchaeus before he even got there. And that is amazing. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it. So, I mean, Zacchaeus went away with Jesus and they met up and they had a bit of a meal or whatever. And Zacchaeus was a changed man. He was a thief, wasn't he? He's a tax collector. So he's collecting from people, he's robbing from people. He knew the laws and how to get round it and how to swindle money out of people. But there and then he changed and he said to Jesus, and as he was coming out of the house, he said, "Everybody I've stolen from, everybody I'm just going to give back. I'm just going to give it back." And so that transformation, that relationship that was built up with Jesus and Zacchaeus in Zacchaeus' home was amazing. And I just think it's brilliant.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we're offered. Is, you know, if you want to have a relationship with Jesus, he will be with you and help you and help you to change if you want to. Well, it's time to talk about challenges now. Now, last week they had a challenge where some of the older ones had to put together some different ingredients or some different foods to make something completely unique and that wouldn't normally go together. And the younger ones, they had to do a rainbow of colours. wouldn't be right to have Challenge Gordon here and not Challenge Gordon. So we have an interesting one for him now. The challenge is going to be to do with socks, and you'll see the challenge group on your screen in a moment. Are you ready, Gordon?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Live challenge for you. Okay. Okay, so well done, Gordon. How did you get?
5.5.
5.5, pretty good. That's all
I
going.
think I got my left foot in, but I couldn't get the right one on. So 5.5. So, guys, it's up to you now to go around and pinch your dad's or your mum's socks, and or your own socks for that matter, and challenge me.
Yeah,
Go for
see
it.
if you can beat him. It's quite a challenge. It's quite a challenge. Okay, so what have we got up next?
Right, can you remember Dr. Do Very Little? He was on a couple of weeks ago. Well, he was talking about animals that change, and it's called metamorphosis, where they change and change shape and whatever. And we're going to watch a little clip now, just
Okay,
to remind us.
over to Dr. Do Very Little.
Some animals that do it differently. They don't just change colour or change shape. They change completely. Yeah. What like? Like butterflies and like frogs. That's right. How do they change? Well, a butterfly, you see, starts life as an egg, and then it grows, and when it gets to a certain size, a caterpillar comes out. Now, a caterpillar is basically just an eating machine. That's all it does. And it eats and it eats and it eats and it eats. And a fully grown caterpillar, get this, can be up to 100 times the size as when it came out the egg. It must be huge. No, it was only tiny when it came out. It's only a bit bigger now. That's right. And it eats and it eats and it eats. And when it gets to the right size, it turns into what's called a pupa. That's right. What's a pupa? Well, it's a thing that hangs down from a leaf with a hard shell round it to protect it so that the animals can't eat it. That's right. And it keeps growing and growing and growing. And inside the pupa, after a few weeks, guess what comes out? A bigger caterpillar? No, we're not a bigger caterpillar. No. You give up. It's a butterfly. And all those beautiful little insects that come out all came from inside there. It's what's called metamorphosis. It's changing from one thing into another completely, a total transformation.
Well, thank you for that, Dr. Do Very Little, reminding us again about change and transformation in animals. Of course, transformation that Daki has had comes from knowing Jesus. There'll be many of you out there that might not know Jesus yet, and I would recommend to you to look at the Bible, look at the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, and read about Jesus, because that's God showing you who he is in the best way we can possibly understand. I recommend you to read those. And actually, if you've known Jesus for a long time, I'd also recommend you go back and look at some of those again, because it's so easy for us to miss things, and the living word of God shows us different things every time, so it's really worth looking back. I think we've got a song coming up next, yeah?
Yeah, it's called I Want to Be Like Jesus by Sovereign Grace.